I am inevitable.
Okay, Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Khaotic Conversation. And here we go. The beat's banging, so the verse gotta bang too. You ain't feeling it, man, I don't know what to say to you. I'm gonna keep going, I'm gonna keep flowing. And my channel, yeah, it's gonna keep growing. Comment chat is who I am. You be like, yo, that's Danny? Damn, he kinda nice. This shit is hot. It's Monday night. It's 9 o'clock. The show Khaotic Conversation is the best damn show on YouTube Nation. So sit back, enjoy the show, and like the Joker says, and here we go. Khaotic Conversation. Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't you dare miss it. That's what I said. Don't you dare miss it. Peace. What up, what up, what up, what up? It is Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the Khaotic Conversation is back in the house. We got some of the usual suspects in the house. What's going on, fellas?
What's up? What's up? What's going on?
What's going on, Mr. Chris Knight? We can't hear you.
How about now?
Yeah.
Now we got you.
All right.
Hello.
So, Terry,
All right.
what's going on with y'all?
Not much. I'm actually trying out this very powerful testosterone booster. I've been using it for like 3 days now. It's fucking amazing.
God. I can't wait to see the damn video you do on that.
You know?
Oh my God. When I busted nut, I went to the moon.
To the moon. That's where I send her. Time. To the moon.
All right, we're going to go ahead and give a shout out to people in the chat. Poe, what's up, man? Thank you for coming by. Appreciate it. I Love Food is in the house as always. And Drop Shops in the house. Thank y'all. If y'all haven't already, please retweet, share. Let's try and get people in here, man. Get as much as we can. I got 5 hot topics I think we all can sink our teeth into and enjoy and come up with our own ideas and points of view and speculation, all that good stuff. Now I'm just going to jump right in on the first one. The first one.
Oh, Lord.
Agatha, House of Hardness. I read an article today about they are really thinking about making this show on Disney Plus. My question is, do we even want to see it? And let me pull up the article so I can read it to y'all gentlemen and people in the chat. And then we'll discuss it from there.
Cool. I also hope we're talking about, Multiverse of Madness passing the Batman in box office. I hope that's a question. That's an interesting one to talk about. But I mean, if we don't talk about it on this show, we'll talk about it.
We got a question. You will never see any video footage saying that I said it wasn't gonna pass it.
Oh, I know you.
I'm just saying it ain't. I don't think it's gonna make $1 billion. That's what I said.
I still think it will.
It might.
I don't know. It's slowing down, and Top Gun is about to come out. So
yeah, it's slowing down a lot.
Okay. Let me pull up the. Come on now. Add to the stream. Why aren't you adding to the stream? All right. Here we go. Agatha, House of Hardness. This article came out just today by Russ Milliam, and I got this from the Direct. When Agatha, House of Hardness was first announced, it left many fans scratching their heads. Despite the general populace loving the character debut in WandaVision, there was never any strong desire by the masses to see her get her own solo outing. Yet clearly Marvel Studios feels they have a story to tell, so they aim to tell it. Last fans saw the villain. She was imprisoned in Westview by Elizabeth Olsen's Scarlet Witch. What happened after that moment is unknown. Many thought she was going to end up popping up in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but clearly that did not end up being the case. It was just announced that several of the writers from WandaVision and one for the Moon Knight will be joining the former Disney Plus series head writer Jack Sheriff to work on Agatha House of Harkness. However, the same information happened to uncover a rough time frame when you should be seeing the new show hit the streaming service. So, will the fans be able to enjoy this unexpected journey? New information can be uncovered thanks to the Writers Guild of America that reveals that fans can expect to see Catherine Hines' Agatha House of Harkness. The show is credited as a comedy for the 2023-24 TV season, indicating that it will be eyeing a premiere in the second half of 2023 or the first half of 2024. Production for this project is currently is set to begin in the late October of this year. If everything goes smoothly and efficiently, that can line up for the Halloween of 2023 debut. So, given the recent trend of production and post production delays, the show's premiere could easily be pushed back. It's not much of a surprise how the show is set for the release date in the far future. Marvel Studios' slate is massive and seemingly endless. Before Agatha happens, there will be nearly a dozen other Disney Plus projects alone audiences will have to experience first. This includes projects such as Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Secret Invasion, What If, I Am Groot, Werewolf by Night, The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, Armor Wars, Echo, Ironheart, Daredevil, and the list goes on. So while the wait may feel like forever, fans will have their hands full with all the MCU stories that will come before it, meaning they likely won't feel the time pass. When it does eventually arrive, hopefully, it will not only tell an intriguing story for not only Agatha but also Elizabeth Olsen's Scarlet Witch, who may be able to continue her journey with the involvement of Catherine Hines Witch. So, do you think this is a story that people want to see? Do you think that it being slated to open next year, Halloween, is a good move on Disney? And what are your thoughts on Agatha House of Harkness? Anyone who wants to start?
Um, Go ahead, Chris.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying I wouldn't like to see it, but with everything that we have in Multiverse of Madness that happened, unless she's somehow part of the reason why uh um Scarlet Witch or Wanda comes back, she's part of the reason, and then they form some sort of an alliance. Other than maybe that type of a storyline, I think the time has passed on this. This was something that they should have had in the works right after WandaVision, not necessarily the next one after WandaVision, but they should have had this someplace in this time frame before they got to Multiverse of Madness, probably. Like I said, if they want to bring, and we know she's got, a 7-year deal, Elizabeth Olsen does, there's a possibility that if she has something to do with bringing her back or bringing her back from another dimension or some weird thing like that, it might work. Other than that, I don't know what other story you could tell with her. You have not utilized her anymore. You took what could have been her being a mid-level baddie against Wanda or even the Doctor, and you kind of just forgot about her. So this to me would fall in line unless I heard some new stuff and all the stuff that we just heard in this article about how far out it could be. This comes up kind of like Black Widow. While Black Widow, I liked the movie, it was just way too late and missed its mark. So I think this one would miss the mark too.
Yeah, personally, I am not interested. I don't care. Just to sound like, oh, it's going to be a comedy. And I'm just like, okay, do we really need this? Like, what does it have to do with the bigger story that they're trying to tell in the MCU? I just think some of these shows are probably going to end up just being filler or some crap. And I'm not interested. I don't want to see it. I mean, she was okay in WandaVision. That's fine. But now you're gonna give her own show where what? She's gonna be a villain or is she gonna be an anti-hero? I don't know, man. I'm just I'll pass on it. I mean, I'll watch it, but I could pass on it.
All right. Terrence, what's your thoughts, bro?
It's interesting to me how they can use all of these different Marvel characters, and somebody sat down on a Sunday night and went, "We need to give Agatha Harkness her own fucking show. Like anybody cares." I'm just like, of course I'll watch it because it's a Marvel show, but I'm like, after watching all the craziness from Wanda and knowing that Agatha is her mentor, I'm like, the way that she was able to make the Illuminati look like a bunch of children, I'm like, why does she even need Agatha at all? Like, what could she possibly be doing? And then if you don't have Wanda in that equation, let's say she only shows up in the mid credit scene or something like, I've dealt with the dark hold and now I'm mad at you because I don't know, you didn't guide me. And it's just like, what is Agatha Harkness going to do? I mean, are they going to go into her backstory, which nobody cares about because it's not that interesting anyway? Because they kind of teased it in WandaVision. I'm like, you can't do a whole show about that. You got one episode at best. So I'm just like, if they don't go into her backstory, what is she going to be doing in present day that's of worth? Are they going to tell me that they're going to sneak in Mephisto when he should have been there with Wanda to create her imaginary children? It seems like there's going to be a lot of backtracking and a lot of things to maybe force in there that just doesn't fit, but to get people talking and then get them to watch it, because only so many individuals are just going to tune out for this automatically because it's MCU stuff. Like, and if I'm going to be honest, even though I've had a good time, I gotta say that this phase of MCU is very underwhelming compared to the
Facts.
other phases. It's just like I'm like, man, like is once I stop cheering, I just start thinking about the other stuff. I'm like, man, y'all slipping. I hope whatever event you're building up to, I hope it's good because it's the Marvel fan in me is the only reason why I'm still around. Like some of my friends, I gotta convince them to watch shit. I was like, yo, let's watch Moon Knight. They was like, man, you sure, T, man? You think? I had to convince them. There was a time where they was like, yo, T, you coming? And they'd be excited. And then we watched Moon Knight, and then look what happened. They didn't give us that much Moon Knight. So I'm like, what could they possibly do with Agatha? I don't get it. So we'll see. We'll see.
Okay,
But
yeah, I hear what y'all saying. I wouldn't mind seeing it, and I'm gonna say it for this reason. To me, Agatha was one of the bright points in WandaVision. To me, she was one of the more interesting characters. I think they would be making a mistake if they make it more comedy than more kind of science fiction driven drama vision. I would definitely steer away from comedy. If they're gonna make it comedy, I think it's gonna fall flat on its face. But to me, this kind of reminds me of how George Lucas did episode 4, 5, 6, and he went back and gave us 1, 2, 3. So maybe by going back into Agatha Harkness' backstory, it will see how she progressed and came to that spot and get whatever she is, and then they may show us her where they may fast forward a little bit and show us how Wanda did after Doctor Strange, because I think that she's not. I think Agatha is strong enough to break out of that spell that Wanda put her in Westview or whatever. So maybe they'll
she
show some of that. So
she you're right. She's definitely strong enough to break out of that weak shit that Wanda did. Absolutely. Because if you want to be technical, Agatha Harkness most of the time is way more powerful than Wanda. In fact, most
right.
characters are. It's just humans
Yeah.
like to cap when they see new stuff. But I'm just like, there's no reason why we should have to see another character assist her out of a weak ass spell. Like I feel like the stuff that Wanda did to her after she enslaved an entire community, that's like elementary magic. You know what I'm saying? Like they would say on the Charm show, that's some elementary shit. You thought that was gonna hold me? Like that's what she needs to say in episode 1. Like we need to see a scene where she comes out of that and you're like, oh wow. So I guess when she's mad, she's more powerful. Like, yeah, sometimes you tend to use spells that you wouldn't ordinarily use when you're pissed off. That is a thing. But it's just Danny, man. I just don't. Certain characters I feel just don't need their own shows and movies.
I agree with you. I'm just saying, um, I think they're going in a direction now of a lot of backstory and laying groundwork for a bigger picture that we don't quite see yet. That's what I think they're trying to do. And I could be totally off base. And I may be looking at a different aspect of entertainment than y'all guys are. And
the larger fan base, which is cool. I don't care. A lot of times people say, "Danny, what are you thinking?" But I like a lot of the story, the backstory on stuff, and then sometimes the backstory they make up is not actually what the comic book is because Terrence and I discussed, and I'm just telling you, Scarlet Witch is not this fucking strong in the comic books. The only time she's strong, even remotely strong like she is now that we saw in Doctor Strange, is in the House of M. But whatever, I've said it. I'm not going to go back on what I said in the past. The MCU loves to cherry pick. Kevin Feige loves to cherry pick, and he augments certain people, that kind of stuff. Don't have a problem with it. I just pointing out certain aspects and facts that I've read myself, and I got confirmation from people who I deem more comic book savvy than I am. So I mean, and I keep saying this. I enjoyed Boba Fett because I learned stuff about him I didn't know after the whole 6.5 minutes we saw him on live screen. And so it's kind of like the same. If it's going to show me a more in-depth picture of Wanda and how she maybe came to be, and seeing that maybe after this Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness that Agatha came to her and she became even more powerful and taught her more stuff, or whatever the case may be, I'm interested in seeing that. I mean, so if it sucks, then of course I'll say it sucks. But if not, then
You know what I think, Danny? I think we've been so like everything in the MCU has to connect in some certain ways when they could actually just go back and do backstories of certain characters. They could do that. I don't see an issue with it. I just don't know if Agatha's a compelling enough character for me to even care about it. That's the problem with me.
Well, let me ask you this: in WandaVision, was she one of the more? Did she grab your attention when you saw her on the screen in WandaVision?
She was good. I liked her. I thought she was one of the best parts of the show, to be honest with you.
I agree too.
Yeah.
Well, okay, in relation to your question, sure, but it was only because she was very goofy and animated. I even thought when I first saw her, I'm like, she's not normal, and I know that because I'm not normal. You know what I'm saying? Like weird knows weird, and I'm just like, there is no fucking way that she is just like everybody else in this community. It's really just a matter of which character is she. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I felt like she was one of the more entertaining aspects. But if somebody were to go, man, Terrence, what do you think about giving her own? No, absolutely not. Because again, she doesn't have enough stuff and it's not compelling enough for them to do that. Like they can make some stuff up, but I'm like, is she the villain? Is she fighting somebody else? What are the stakes of the show? I'm like, what can you do that's gonna uproot anything that you've done so far? When you're talking about pitting the shows and movies against each other, just I don't know. It just seems like a filler thing. That's what it seemed like.
You see, that would be my. Oh, go ahead, Danny. You first.
No, you go ahead. I was
going to say that would be my problem, though. It's like, are they going to give her someone to fight a villain? Are they going to make her good? Because I don't want them to make these these bad characters good anymore. I'm getting sick and tired of, watching these characters that are supposed to be bad and then they're anti-heroes or some crap in the show. And I think that's what they would do with her. And I'd just prefer if they do it, like, keep her evil.
I am right there with you. That's one of my irritations with Sony.
We gotta remember. We gotta remember what we said now. When Disney Plus first came out, all of us
person that doesn't care about these characters, like, oh, we need to rate the shit. You just need to translate it.
What? Yeah, I don't know. That was weird. Go ahead, Danny. What you were saying?
Can you hear me, Terrence?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. What I was saying is that we gotta remember this, and myself included, that when Disney Plus first came out, one of our biggest complaints was it didn't have enough content. Now we got content out of the yin yang, but we got to remember now the content shouldn't be as exciting as the movie. The content should be something that connects it, get your appetite wet, kind of like an appetizer. Then the main course should be the movie. We can't expect these TV shows, Disney Plus series, to be as exciting as movies. That's going to be kind of productive. That's supposed to set us up for it and get us ready.
I am in, like, I can't speak for humans, but for me, I in no way expect a show to be as good as a movie. Because if a show is better than a movie, then that means that they fucked up in every possible way
But
with
that's what
said
some
movie.
fans are talking about. If it's
But
not bang bang shoot 'em up exciting, oh that was kind of dull. Oh it was dull.
but
Okay, that is setting up for something bigger. It may not be the next movie MCU movie coming out, but it may be something bigger. Like doggone Loki, it didn't set up anything we saw now. Loki is setting up, in my opinion, Ant-Man 3. So we gotta wait. We gotta wait to see that. Some of these TV shows are setting up things that we don't see that may not come out in the next movie, and even the next 2 movies, maybe 3 or 4 movies down the road. But we gotta be patient.
I am very patient. Like
I'm not saying you, Terrence. I'm just saying.
No, I know you're not. I'm just going off what you're saying. But it's like, Danny, man, like you don't have to be as good as the movies, but you also shouldn't be wasting people's fucking time and you not giving us anything. It's like it's just a bunch of fluff. Like, see, we got you, but next year there'll be this movie. I'm like,
you see, I think that you guys made a point with the switching how they are bad to good, good to bad. That's why I said the only course of action I could see them doing, and I mean, Danny, you got a good point. If they're doing something backstory wise, I guess to say how we got there, how she got to the whole situation in WandaVision, that might work. But I think if you bring her character in and then you form an alliance, be it right or wrong how they treated Scarlet Witch, if you form an alliance where she finds out about the multiverse and you spend 6 episodes or whatever for her trying to get one Scarlet Witch back so they could team up and do something and maybe set up another Doctor Strange movie or some other movie that Wanda would be in. I don't know.
Wouldn't that be kind of weird though, Chris? Because I'm like, based upon Clea coming at the end of Doctor Strange, who's his wife, I'm like, you need no other characters. I'm like, that is her, that is Dormammu, that is her mother. I'm like, why would they need Agatha? Like, I would be like, my brain would probably like explode with confusion because it's like, look, last thing I'll say is, just because it works and it makes sense, don't mean that it's good. That's the last thing I'm gonna
say. That don't make sense. Just because it works and it makes sense doesn't mean it's good.
No, it makes perfect sense because you can have something that fits into the storytelling, but it doesn't mean that it's good. It's just like, oh, you told a mediocre story and things fit in. You presented a bunch of filler, but it doesn't stand out in your sea of projects. That's what that means.
But what it is, we got so used to everything MCU is home runs. You can't have home runs all the time. There's got to be some singles and doubles and triples in there. You can't hit home runs all the time. You can't.
I get what you're saying, Danny, but I would also argue that they don't have a lot of home runs. I mean, I feel like financially, sure, but storytelling is a whole other discussion.
They're not worrying about story. They're worrying about butts they put in the seat and monies they put in the bank. And for the first 10 years, MCU was knocking home runs.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just that you and I are fans, though. We can discuss it in the ways of intelligent storytelling.
I will agree with you. Now, this inning, the second inning, I sort of say the first 10 years, the first inning, the second inning, yeah, they're starting off a little slow. I'll give you that. But they done build up such a lead, so to speak. I'm still sticking with the metaphor. They done build up such a lead, man. It's going to be hard for the away team to even make a dent in the lead. And the away team being, I guess, Sony and DC. But I'm just saying.
I think again though, that's just the aspect of the financial stuff, because if you're talking about storytelling, there are countless movies that are better than the fucking MCU movies. Like let's be honest here. Like if you're
I agree with that. I'm just talking about in the world of the comic book movie. MCU is king. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because they have the money. Like money does the talking. But again, we're all intelligent men here, and I like to talk about all aspects. I'm like, what about this, Mr. Feige? Oh no, we don't need to worry about that yet. I know that's why you dishing out shit that we get now.
Doesn't it come back to what we always said, that it's obvious they're not going to the comic book fans. They throw sprinkles of comic book stuff in it, but then they do something like what they do with Scarlet Witch. We all know she's not that powerful.
And also what they did with Moon Knight, right? Like how they prioritized the Layla over giving us Jake Lockley, like stupid shit like that. Yeah, I got you.
I mean, okay, I mean, but that's what I'm talking about. Is that they're not after the true comic book fans' money. They're looking for people who are comic book fans that are going to go watch it just because they want to see what happens. And then if they throw just enough in it to keep you, okay, well, it was pretty good.
Absolutely.
And they're going for the other people who aren't, that now only go because it's a Marvel movie and they understand the Marvel characters, the Marvel MCU characters, not the comic book Marvel characters.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Marvel's been going so long now that it's like a whole nother. This is a whole nother universe. This is another person. These are other people. They are reminiscent of their comic book page brethren,
right?
But they're
You're
not the same.
And you're right. And it's just if I were around them, I would have to call them out. Like when they say the fans are gonna like this, I'm like, which fans are you talking about? You talking about the ones that don't fucking read comics or the ones that do? Which one are you talking about?
I Love Food says, as someone who skipped Doctor Strange 2, you shouldn't do that, bro. I will have no issue skipping Agatha, but I'll wait to see a trailer first. I'm not sure why you skipped Doctor Strange 2 because if you're an MCU fan, you want to have continuity, you need to watch it. It's one of the better ones. This movie has moved to some people top 5 MCU movies. That's pretty strong. It just came out.
That is strong because that's crazy. That makes no sense. Like what do we have? 28 movies. I'm like, how the hell did something as sloppy as Doctor Strange beat out 95% of the movies?
Easy. It did a lot that none of the other Marvel movies did.
Oh, you mean the violence? Oh, okay. So that would be more of a subjective thing where humans are like, yo, violence, but they don't really care about the story or the accuracy of the characters. Okay, fair enough. I get it.
Yeah, it's my top 2.
Absolutely not. Like for me, I probably put it. I can't even say that it'd be in the top 10.
Yeah, it cracked my top 10. But let's get on to the next one because we're going to be in 27 minutes against the first one. What AOS? What the hell is that? What's the acronym for what is?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was nearly as exciting as movies in some seasons. That's what I've been
agree.
told.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 4, the one with Robbie Ghostwriter, is better than every single Marvel Disney Plus show.
Facts.
Every single one of them. It's not even close. That one season.
Facts. 100%.
Mystic Shadows said hello. What's up, bro? I'd like to see an X-Men Disney Plus series. That would be cool.
The Lord, as long as it's not your main X-Men characters.
And I don't.
X-Men.
I don't know. For me, like I don't mind, but again, like I haven't been impressed with any of the really Disney Plus shows. Like they've been okay to good. Some of them are few of them are bad, but they haven't been anything like, oh my god, this is fire. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Just in case Kevin Feige might be listening, this is the first time I'm gonna probably say it like this. Kevin Feige, you cannot, and I repeat, you cannot do a Marvel show that's as intelligent or complex as the Legion show, the one about Charles Xavier's son. You can't do it. Period.
I've never seen it.
He said live action, not animated. Yeah, I keep harping on this, but David DQ, if you haven't gone on there, go and see. I think it's called Gambit's Quest or something like that. It's a live action, a fan-made movie showing Gambit and Rogue. It's about 20-25 minutes long. You need to go check it out. It is really good. If they do something like that on Disney Plus, I would definitely watch it. I'm gonna go back to the rest of your people. We're gonna go ahead and in the chat your questions, your comments. We're gonna hop on to the second question, second topic. Recently, Time did this people that the most influential people of 2022, and MCU actors, 6 of them made that cut. Need to read that article, and we can discuss the 6 people. A couple of them I was like, really?
Oh shit! My bad, Danny. What did you flash something on the screen?
Yeah, 6 Marvel actors featured on the Times 2022 most influential people's list. Let me share it real quick with y'all, fellas. Boom, boom.
Yep, we are in uncharted territory, gentlemen. The divide of the MCU has begun.
It says the influence of Marvel movies have been amplified since the Marvel Cinematic Universe debuted in 2008. The franchise's concept of a shared universe leaves fans yearning for the rest of the story, leaving the audience to the edge of their seats for what comes next. As a result of the movies have directly impacted pop culture, and one of the main reasons why is actors and actresses involved. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to try and tell you the 6 things that were involved. The first one was Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Lead actor Simu Liu joined the list. The Canadian-American actress Sandra Oh playing tribute to the MCU newcomer. The Grey's Anatomy star offered a high praise of the character, saying he's part of the first generation of Asian Americans and Canadians to reach true stardom. Liu's Shang-Chi co-star Michelle Yeoh, who portrays Ying Nan in the movie, is also included in that list. She achieves the impossible again and again. Simply put, that is what Michelle Yeoh has been doing for decades. An aristocrat Malaysian beauty, becoming the queen of Hong Kong's male-dominated action cinema. The Amazing Spider-Man Andrew Garfield is number 3. The actor who returns as last year's Spider-Man No Way Home was described by a veteran director, Martin Scorsese, as a remarkable artist, one of the greats of his generation. Casting the lead in my adaptation of Silence was not easy. The role was demanding on every level. When Andrew Garfield came to audition, I could see right away that he understood the character of Rodriguez. He gave
So now I know why Danny picked this one.
No, I had no idea. I just saw 6 MCU. Number 4 was Zendaya from No Way Home. She's the fourth most influential, the 4th person from the MCU on this list. It says, to me, Zendaya is 1,000 years old. She has already lived many lives before this one, and yet she is as young as springtime. By many inextricable paradox, she also gives the impression of having been born sometime far in the future. She is timeless, and she can do it all. The next person was Thor from Thor Ragnarok, the director Taika Waititi. He's number 5 on the list. Now you can tell that a film that was made by Taika Waititi, the same way you can tell a piece of painted by Picasso. Not that he doesn't know where all the face, the eyes go, but in how he expresses his unique voice. The work of Taika I saw was the 2014 mockumentary, which We Do in the Shadows, a movie that could have been a disaster, but was amazing. It was brilliantly comedic, yet somehow made me care passionately about the fate of a bunch of murderous vampires. And I think the last one was Zoe Kravitz, who starred in X-Men First Class and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Zoe Kravitz defies definition. She contains multitudes and stands fully formed in her beauty, her intelligence, her grace, her humor, her strength, part maverick, part savant, mostly just cool. Cool like Dylan, cool like Cash, cool like Nina Simone. Forged by the strength and grace of 2 incredible artists, but made whole by her own grit and intellect. So, what do you think of those 6 on there? Do you agree with them? Do you think they're a little full of it? Or
here's the thing: anytime you do a top 100 in 1 year, and
Danny, like I'm confused, like what was going on?
It's 2022. We're not even done with 2022. So this is like, I hate these lists because they're so like, oh, let's just pick 100 people. Listen, Zendaya is like one of the few on there I'd absolutely agree with. Zoe Kravitz, pretty much. I like her in a lot of different things. Taika Waititi, love him or hate him. That was absolutely a great comment. They said, you know his movies like you would know a Picasso. That is absolutely true.
Very distinct movie style.
I would go with those 3. Andrew Garfield, don't get me wrong, he's a great actor. I like a lot of his stuff. I like him as Spider-Man. I just don't think he did enough in that one movie.
I'm taking him away out of Spider-Man. I'm not even counting his act as Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I don't think he should be on that list. I mean, I don't know. I just
Man, he's an incredible actor, bro.
Listen,
What?
if this is 2021, fine. But it said 2022. We're halfway done with 2022.
Well, I
We're
don't
not
make
even done with this year.
I don't make the rules now.
What is
I
what
guess,
is the main question, Danny? I'm trying to understand. Like,
do we
Well,
agree with the 6 people of the
yeah,
MCU being in the top 100 influence?
six actors that work for that in MCU movies were on the 100 most influential people list of 2022. Do you agree with the six
oh,
names that I just called,
okay.
or do you think that there's overhyped, or you don't agree with it? Whatever your statement or thoughts on it on the matter.
My question is, who the fuck are they influencing? Because I ain't influenced by none of them on this list. I'm sorry. I mean,
Influential
What
meaning
can
that
you?
they
Okay, so what?
shape, they're
Zendaya, like,
shaping
More
I
the
pop culture and stuff.
Hollywood aspect or something.
okay, but okay, based off of the names you said, which I remember most of them. So I don't I don't think any of them are influential. Like I could argue that some of them are talented. I think that Zoe Kravitz, the first time that I seen her good was in the Batman, but aside from that, she's forgettable, she's boring, she's talentless. Like I don't understand how she would be one of the most influential individuals when no one I know ever brings up Zoe Kravitz ever for any reason.
or Zendaya.
Yeah, or her, or even
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield, unless we're talking about Spider-Man, then he'll come up. But like if influential, I'm thinking like things in life, like individuals are like, hey, I became a wrestler or a doctor because of Andrew Garfield. I my motivation to be the world's greatest nurse is because I saw Zendaya in Homecoming. I'm like, I don't hear shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these lists are very subjective.
Mhm.
Normies don't really. I don't think they really have a say so in these decisions. I think it's just how popular that particular person may be at a particular time that the person is giving this list and say, "Hey, who do you think is most influential? Here's your list." And it may be even more of a popularity contest than actually a true influencer. So I don't know. Like I said, but this thought was a very interesting topic when I read it. And the fact that MCU has 6 people off of there was really what caught my eye.
I think the
What
best
do
way
you
to
think, Danny? Do you think they're influential?
I think in maybe in their own certain ways. All the ones that are on there, I know a little bit about. I don't know a little bit about, except for the guy that plays Shang Chi. First time I ever seen him, don't really know anything about him.
seem to leave.
But the other
Mm-hmm.
ones, I've seen their work. Don't hate them. Some of the statements that are made about them, I agree with it. Like Chris did it with how they describe Taika Waititi. His movies, I can tell a Taika Waititi movie, or with like I can tell his episode from The Mandalorian out of the other ones because he has a
Mm-hmm.
specific style that I can recognize, and he has a particular brand of humor and how he shoots things and the visual colors that he have. Like in Ragnarok, I'm pretty sure that Love and Thunder is going to have that same style and same energy. So
Mhm.
I don't have. I mean, does he influence me? No, not per se. But do they influence? Um, excuse me, maybe other actors or maybe other producers or maybe certain certain
D-
sets, I guess, in Hollywood. That may be true.
Danny, it's kind of weird because I'm like, I like Simu Liu because of how he played Shang-Chi. And I like martial arts movies, so that's a no-brainer for someone like myself. However, I'm just like you're talking about another MCU movie that underperformed. And this dude is not Jet Li, Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, Michelle Yeoh, none of the big Asian stars, Chow Yun Fat. It doesn't matter who you mention. He's nowhere near in the same universe as them. But yet these humans on this list are like, yo, influential. Based off of what?
I
What
think
did you
that
do?
I think because of his nationality, that was the first thing they talked about. He's the first Asian Canadian or whatever. So they're putting
Well,
that label
again,
on him. Like I said, I'm not saying I agree with it, but that's the label. That's the first thing they put in the sentence, being a
Asian
first
Asian
Asian Canadian.
Canadian. Okay, like maybe that's true, right? But because I have grown up with countless Asian stars, I feel like that's some laughable 2022 nonsense. So I just don't see how he deserves
That's
to be.
exactly what it is. But back then, it wasn't as woke as now. It's just the same thing that a lot of people talking about. Everything's woke and whatever, and move to a certain direction. That's moving to the direction that we seem to be going now.
You're right. Everybody gets a trophy nowadays, right?
Well, here's the thing. One, it's done by a year, and if it is 2022, that means you're only dealing with half of a year. And I think what they probably mean is like halfway through 2021 to this time in 2022. That's probably what they're doing. But if you look at it in blocks like that, yes, these people have made some sort of an effect on Hollywood and the movie scene. Perhaps these are influential people within that. I don't think it means that they have to influence us. I think what they're trying to say is they have influenced certain groups of people. Perhaps.
Okay, so from that perspective, go ahead.
I would have to look at the time and see what their criteria for to make that list. I didn't read that part of it, so I will research that and see what time. Because I'm pretty sure Time has a criteria describing what it takes to get on that list. So I will read and look into that and have the answer.
Because I would argue 5 out of the individuals on that list have a shit ton of fans. As for Zoe Kravitz, it's because of her fucking family that she's where she is, and that's 100% facts.
They just said that in the thing, in the article.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Like, I feel like she shouldn't even be on that list with those other 5.
You don't think she did a good job as Catwoman?
She did. That's actually the first time where I was like, wow.
I think that's why we're talking about. It's in segments. So they're looking at that movie, how she played that part, and think about the people who've played that part. There've been a lot of influential within that, and again, they're using that word very, very loosely. But there've been a lot of influential people, especially in the 60s series, who played Catwoman. And then Michelle Pfeiffer did it. And love it or hate it, Halle Berry did it. There's certain, and then what's her name in the Nolanverse?
Oh, you're talking about Anne Hathaway, and don't forget about Viking Dove in Gotham. Like, I don't know why he was.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, right there. Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. So, so they're stacking it up against maybe the part and how she did with that part, and I think she set herself apart very well from everything else that's been done.
You're right, Chris. These humans need to learn how to articulate that. Because if I was writing that shit,
I don't disagree with that. I hate these lists. I hate every list like this because these lists are ridiculous. They're almost as bad as TV award shows. Almost.
Yeah.
Cause I hate those too. I cannot watch them. I think the Emmys and the Oscars and all that shit is crap. The only one that might still have any real value is the Tony Awards, which nobody watches because it's Broadway, but they actually have to when they do a Broadway play, you have to write new music. If it's like a movie and you change it into a musical, you have to write new music for it to be considered. There's a lot of factors that actually make the Tonys
okay. Let me ask you this, Danny. So out of everybody on the list, who's your favorite? Like out of the 6?
Right now, Zendaya for me.
Danny,
I think.
Probably be Zendaya.
Yeah, I go.
I like 3 of them equal. I like Kravitz, I like Zendaya, and I like Garfield. I don't like one any better than the other one.
Okay. Fair enough.
This is how they said they said each year our time 100 lets us step back and measure the forces that move us, which is more powerful, hope or proof, ambition or altruism, the lesson for the past or the lure of the future. The people we spotlight range from the globally famous to the literally anonymous. We leave it to you to guess the true identity of author Elena Ferrante. There are world leaders and local activists, artists and athletes, scientists, moguls, and a number of people who are running for president of the United States. One way or another, they each embody a breakthrough. They broke the rules, they broke the record, they broke the silence, they broke the boundaries to reveal what they were capable of. They are seekers with their fearless willingness to surprise by what they find. So I guess it's people that, like I said, it seems to me like a more of a popularity contest than actually whether or not
Yeah,
it's
it probably is.
And that's how it works, which is why, like, I don't like most lists and award stuff because humans refuse to be objective. It's all about how they fucking feel, which is not indicative of the truth, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. Shifty Jism say the mutant should be Disney Plus Game of Thrones mega event series. Poe said Agatha's show, the curse that Wanda placed on her is broken due to the end of Doctor Strange 2. Never thought that part. That makes good sense. She tries to find the dark hole. Agatha's show could be about the curse that Wanda placed on her is broken due to the end of Doctor Strange 2. She tries to find the dark hole or summon Mephisto.
Mhm.
That correct?
And if they do that, right, I'll be like, so you don't bring Mephisto in to do Wanda's kids, but you bring. I feel like that give me the face palm all day. I got you.
Agatha found out Wanda is now gone. Wanda was possessed. DQ says, I thought Batman was better than Strange 2 story-wise.
You were out of your mind, DQ.
Scarlet Witch was Jean Grey.
Jean Grey, how?
I guess how powerful he was, I guess. I don't know. The Batman barely had a story. Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I guess we watched different movies because I could have sworn it had a great story, but hey.
I did too. Poe says Chip and Dale is damn near better than what the hell are you?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Chip and Dale was so fucking good though.
Did you watch it?
Yo, you know what?
Wait, time out. Whoa. Did you watch the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers?
I did.
I haven't watched it, but I keep hearing
it's
it.
Good?
Yes. It's better than Doctor Strange 2?
No.
Do you know how fucking like we are in a year where humans are saying that Chip and Dale is better than the MCU, which solidifies my point about this underwhelming ass phase. That is crazy.
Yo, but okay, so let's put it this way. It's better than Shang-Chi. It's better than Black Widow. It's better than Eternals.
I give you Eternals. The other two, I don't know.
Did you watch it, Danny?
Well, it ain't hard to be better than those.
Danny, watch it. Trust me. What? No, for real. Watch it.
Coming from you, Anzo, I'll watch it because I'm scared to death because that's like my childhood. But since you say it's worth it, I'm gonna watch it.
They have so many cameos in there. They have a blaster transformer in there, right? He's watching a movie called Batman versus E.T. Yo, it's hilarious, bro.
Okay, so I was gonna get to it eventually because it's a movie. I want to see all movies at least once. It's just a matter of the priority and stuff. But so Anzo, so you're saying that the story is good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
ain't gonna lie. I sat there and I seen LB Lonely Banter. He was talking about watching it, and K-Dot, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" So I'm like, "You guys are really gonna make me watch this Chipmunk movie?" And I watched it, and I was like, "Yo, this is good." I couldn't believe it.
You know, I don't know, like, because the way that I critique Doctor Strange, the storytelling was sloppy. So if you can give me a good story, then absolutely you would be over Doctor Strange. Because I'm like, it's not just enough to have fancy action scenes where characters are getting killed that shouldn't die. I'm like, you got to hit me with that good story.
Here it comes.
That's what I want to see.
No, go ahead, Danny.
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction.
Danny, how is what I said pure fiction when we had a hold on, Dan, I'm trying to ask you. So how is it pure fiction when we had a conversation?
I don't believe that Chip and Dale is better than Doctor Strange 2.
I'm not saying that it is. I was just saying that the story was sloppy in Doctor Strange. I didn't say it was better.
You just said that the story is better and more.
Yes, if it's better, that means like when I watch it, if I believe 100% that the story is good, then I'm gonna have to say that it's better because Doctor Strange 2 doesn't have a good story. It has action, mindless, bonkers, doesn't make any sense to any Marvel lore action. That's what it has.
I got you. All right, let's get to God. What we tend to low on these topics. Next topic is who will be the next Black Panther? Who will be the next Black Panther? Definitely, there's going to be Namor in there. He's played by some actor. Let me see if I can pull up that gold story. Come on, where you at, story? There you go. Boom, 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 boom. All right, here we go, people. It says here, Black Panther 2 first look at Namor possibly revealed. 2 years ago, it was reported that the Narcos Mexico star Tanac Hurata, I hope I'm not butchering his name, would play an undisclosed villain in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. It was quickly speculated that Hurata would be playing T'Challa's most bitter enemy, Namor the Submariner. A year later, the Illuminati revealed that Hurata would indeed be playing. That's it. That ain't naughty, is it? That's nerdy, look like to me, ain't it? The Illuminati.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Revealed that Hurata would indeed be playing the Scourge of the Seven Seas, but with a twist. To match the casting of Hurata, the entire culture of Atlantis from the comics would instead be based on Mayan culture instead of ancient Greece. As is typical for the mythical underwater city, the same report 2 Mayan warriors were being cast, later revealed to be given the code names Zayana and Cadmel. In another report from Murphy's Multiverse, the role of Zayana was revealed to be Namora, the cousin of Namor, played by Mexican actress Mabel Cadena. Considering all these reports concerning Namor's long-awaited MCU introduction, one of the biggest mysteries revolves around what he'll look like when he hits the big screen in November. Recently, a leaked image of Namor himself was leaked, showing how his new Mayan-inspired roots have influenced his design. So I guess this is how they say he might look.
Oh, that's so fucking stupid.
So a blurred-out promotional image from Black Panther Wakanda Forever was supposedly leaked via the Den of Nerds, which teased the MCU design of Namor, the Submariner. In case the image is legitimate, we can't share the image here for copyright reasons, but a fan-made visual representation of Namor's design was shared by insider My Time to Shine Hello can be seen below. So he definitely looks Hispanic there, buddy.
Mm-hmm. I knew there was gonna be some red flags for Black Panther 2, Danny. I fucking knew it.
You don't even have the wings on his ankles. So what the hell?
It's Danny. I'm like, this is the most blatant disrespect to any character because they specifically said in the article, this is not even like, like when humans are like, you gotta wait to see it. It might be the greatest thing ever. In the articles themselves, they specifically said they changed the character's background to match the actor. Man, that's a damn shame. What the fuck?
If they do that, then I think it's definitely gonna ruffle some feathers. It's definitely gonna make me jump on the side I don't want to jump on all this woke stuff and all this kind of stuff, which I try to stay away from at all costs. But that's gonna be something on the plate I'm gonna have to eat if the design and the actor look like that in live action when it comes out. I hope it don't. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Man, it's crazy, Danny, how I can go on Google right now and type in Namor the Submariner cosplayers with no money can do better than Marvel Studios. It makes no sense to me, right? Like, why would you do like even the dude that they got to play the character? He looks nothing like Namor. Like if they just put him on screen, I would never guess that he's Namor. He looks nothing like him. Just
That's
like
the same
Gore
thing they
doesn't look.
did. I don't know if you remember years ago when they were talking about making the He-Man, and the He-Man, the guy playing He-Man had blonde hair and was like skinny. Not blonde hair, but he had like brunette hair or something. Like he was Hispanic or something. He was gonna play Prince Adam. I said, "How are you gonna play Prince Adam? First of all, you of Hispanic descent, brunette hair, and he wasn't even muscular. I mean, Prince Adam in the original cartoon was damn near big as He-Man.
I'm like, Danny,
there wasn't much of
I'm
a
like, why
difference.
couldn't they just call him Diaz or something? Like, don't even call him Namor because he's not him, like at all. It's just like, so let's just say it's not exactly like 50 articles that we've been reading. Even if it's 50% of that, you have drastically changed the character. Now you're gonna get those capping humans that go, maybe they're not trying to be like Jason Momoa's Aquaman. And I just be like, so these clearly are individuals that don't care about the character. But I'm just like, he's not the same as Aquaman. It started like that. They was kind of similar. But later on, Namor got this rich background with him being the first mutant and all this shit and just all this stuff with him with Doctor Doom and the Avengers and Black Panther. Just all this amazing stuff where you can show people that don't fucking read comics that he's not the same as Aquaman, but they thought they need to change his whole background and present a Hispanic actor for inclusion purposes. I'm just like, this is goofy shit to me.
I see. I said the second Thor trailer just dropped on the basketball game. Let's see if I can pull it up, and we're gonna watch that. I don't care if they...
Yeah,
I heard.
Paul sent it to me.
Oh wait, go down to.
No, I was just saying Paul sent it to me.
How's it looking, Anzo? Yeah, because
I didn't watch it.
Oh yeah, because they were saying it's gonna be epic, and then Chris Hemsworth and Taika Waititi's like, man, this about to be the best villain in the MCU, and I'm like, first of all, y'all only have 5 good villains. Let's stop the cap. And secondly, if you're telling me that this Gore is going to be better than Thanos and Eric Killmonger, I don't know about that.
Yeah, put it in the private chat. What were you saying, Terrence? Sorry.
Wait. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, no, I was saying that when they were like saying that Gore is going to be the best villain and stuff, and I was just like, they need to calm down because they only have 5 good villains in those movies. And secondly, if they're telling me that this villain is going to be better than Thanos, Eric Killmonger, Hela, and Loki, I highly doubt that.
So, what's the problem with Namor being Hispanic?
Because they're changing his entire background. They're removing the Atlantis aspect, which means that everything that comes with Atlantis and him technically being the first mutant gets erased. It's silly. It's goofy. I'm just like, why are they doing that?
Let's watch this. We get back to that
mutants yet, but
make it.
Yeah.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Kids, get your popcorn now. Let me tell you the story of the space Viking, Thor Odinson. He was no ordinary man. He was a god. After saving planet Earth for the Thor's epic journey, well, he got in shape.
What the hell?
Here, you want me to play it? Here, I can play it because.
Yeah, share it because it's kind of choppy anyway. So.
Thor out of shape.
I've got higher upload and download speeds, so give me a second here. I'll give it to you.
I'm glad Odin isn't alive to see this shit. How far his son has fallen, boy. Just a damn joke.
All right, there you go. Can you hear it?
Kids, get your
Yeah.
popcorn out. Let me tell you the story of the space Viking, Thor Odinson. He was no ordinary man. He was a god. After saving planet Earth for the 500th time, Thor set off on a new journey. When he got in shape, he went from dad bod to god bod. And after all that, he reclaimed his title as the one and only Thor. Oh, spoke too soon. Jane? Your old ex-girlfriend.
What's it been like? 3, 4 years?
8 years, 7 months, and 6 days, give or take.
Am I sensing feelings?
Well, you're right. The only ones who gods care about is themselves.
Is that my boy Gore?
So this is my vow. All gods will die.
Oh, he looks horrible.
Yeah.
I just want to say that was very, very impressive what you did back there.
He's just my first bad guy.
You never forget your first. You are not like the other gods.
Was Valkyrie fighting Gore?
You have something worth fighting for.
Kaka.
Let's see who you are. I take off your disguise. And flick.
Oh, you flipped too hard, damn it!
Yeah.
Shall we help him? And eventually. Great.
Okay, that was funny. That was funny.
He definitely got bigger for sure. Yep, like
That was funny. That last part was
You know, I like it. I like what I'm seeing out of it. I hate to say
It was fun. I was having fun, but they don't know how the internet.
I'm sorry.
that man.
Saggy Melons.
It's like, okay,
It just switched over
that
to that one.
that was fun to watch because it was so fucking silly, right? Like even when they showed Gore, who looks terrible,
yeah.
I was just like, did they have a scene where King Valkyrie is fighting Gore and she's holding her own? That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
I thought Gore was like muscular. He looks like a rave.
Well, I'm wondering if at some point he will. I don't know.
Oh my god, no. Gore looks like how I used to look before I started working out. Like that shit don't make no sense. Like 97 pounds Gore.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Maybe they'll explain that. Maybe I don't know. It looks like they're giving him like the old like 70s, 80s costume. You know, with the giant face mask thing that they had on. I don't hate that. It just I don't know. You know what? The way that they're stylizing the part where it said Thor and all that, it's like, man, you're trying to. It looks like Masters of the Universe. I mean, I hate to say it.
Shit, I'd rather watch Masters of the Universe, and I'm not even a He-Man.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, so
I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about like the Dolph Lundgren Masters of the Universe.
Oh, I'd rather watch that too.
I'd rather watch that too because I like Dolph Lundgren. That's the only reason. Like so, because that cartoon is better than that movie. I'll tell you that. But it's just.
I don't know.
Is that what they were hyping up though? They're like, this is gonna be the great thing, and I'm just like,
not
what
by
is
yourself,
it?
Chris. Not by yourself.
What are you saying? You like it, Danny?
I've seen worse.
Yeah, it was fun. I don't hate it. I'm just saying it.
Taika Waititi, love him or hate him again. He has taken.
It's gonna be funny with Taika Waititi. You know that going in there.
But he's taken Thor and he's starting to make them like Marvel movies. The first two were so far removed from anything Marvel was doing, and I love the first two too. I think that Ragnarok and this one are going to be right in line with what everything else in the MCU has been like.
I just think MCU need to get they take out 20% more of the jokes.
Yes.
Because when we saw Doctor Strange 2, there was maybe one joke.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
When Doctor Strange said you're not going to be on the lunchbox, like that I was dying of laughter because I didn't expect that, but it was funny. But it wasn't like goofy. It was like legitimate sentiment from Doctor Strange. It's like you done
Right.
fucked up so much. We don't want you anywhere near us. Not even with
That,
branding, your ass is done.
I think you got to have people that can pull off the comedic timing. Like Robert Downey Jr., all his jokes hit to me. His
Well, yeah,
his,
that's.
his little punchline. I mean, he was just naturally everyone he
But
hit. I didn't cringe but some people just can't pull it off. Like the guy that played Captain America, he can't pull it off a punchline like Robert Downey Jr. can.
but that's
Scarlett
because Iron Man
Johansson.
stuff wasn't silly though. That's why.
I'm just saying, but it was a lot of comedic stuff with what he was saying, how he would say it, and his tone and that kind of stuff. But it worked. I like Scarlett Johansson's timing. A lot of stuff she said, like her smiles.
Oh
Or
yeah,
her
she's a great actress anyway. So
But
that's
some
why she.
people just can't pull it off. Like I love Chris Evans as Captain America, but he don't have the comedic timing. He's more the serious. Like when he says those rah speeches, that's where he excels at to me.
Yeah, Danny, don't you find it funny that this store is just like, I need to find myself. I'm like, didn't you have like 30 movies to do that, Thor? Like
Yeah.
that was what his first movie was about. Him
Yeah.
losing his powers, him getting them back. I know who I am. All the stuff he did with the Avengers, and then this dude is still talking about, I need to figure out who I am. Let me meditate under a tree. I'm just
Well, they making Thor look pretty. I won't say scatterbrained, but they make him look pretty shallow.
He's a fucking buffoon. Yeah.
For a guy, he should be more
Guys,
confident, more powerful. I mean, he should have inherited Odinson's power.
Right.
I'm almost
I'm not
thinking
saying
that.
he does.
Go ahead.
I don't think that he hasn't. I think what you have here is a mix of several things. He's been through a lot. He's lost a lot. So now maybe he's just going back to more of that idea of I'm going to do what I want to do, like he was in the original movie. He was kind of like that in the original movie, and he's already handed it off to Valkyrie. He's already handed it off the responsibilities to Valkyrie. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
Odin should have came back to life.
We
and
will
smacked
have
him
to see how they play this out. Again, you're watching a Marvel trailer, and those
did
are
you notice how when he was fat, right? So he was getting in shape, and then we saw him buff, right? Like that in the first trailer, he was with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then he decided to quit fighting. So I'm like, so what point of the movie is that where he got in shape and then he still decided to not fight because he was buff at that point? So I'm like, what happened there? Was he still having a hard time finding himself? Did he see the mighty Thor and go, man, you should lead the rest of the franchise, and they're going to have Valkyrie and mighty Thor beat Gore? Is that what's going to happen? They're going to do that, aren't they?
I just think the MCU rising Thor a bit too much because in the first Thor, he was more war driven, more more focused. He wanted to sit on the throne, and kind of invoke his power. Now he's like he lost his way. They did the fat Thor joke way too long. It's damn 2 movies. It's another movie, and Thor's still fat going into this movie. I mean, to me, that's just crazy. He should have been transformed the second he had Mjolnir and Stormbreaker when they was fighting Thanos, but they didn't do that. But I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I definitely think this is gonna be better than Eternals. So it's not gonna be on my last. I can almost guarantee this won't be in my bottom 18. It's probably gonna be up there, and at least it's gonna crack the top 20,
Danny,
maybe top 15.
If somebody can't do better than Eternals, I don't know how to help them.
I'm just saying. For now, Eternals is going to be the key litter box for a while.
And here's the thing, right? I'm like, it's not alone. You can add that second Thor there. Like when the villain gets beat by Thor's mom, I'm just like, you lose all credibility as a threat. I'm just like, you're done. that was like the biggest fail. I'm like, how the hell is your henchman more badass than you? Like imagine them presenting Zod, but like a random Kryptonian is more badass than Zod. Like that shit would make no sense.
That example, I agree with you. Let's see. Do I have another top? I do have another topic, but we're going on 1 hour and 10 minutes. I'm going to skip one topic, and we're going to go ahead and go to the final topic, which I know Anzo will like. And is, will Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, will it make $1 billion? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The theatrical run is 30 days, right?
No, 45 we said because of streaming service.
I don't know. They keep changing it, so I'm not really sure.
I could have sworn we said 30, but I'll check the video.
What? What is what?
I could have sworn we said 30 in that
No,
question.
45 because we said it's 45 days out from streaming services. That's what that's what
they said it's going to drop on Disney Plus in June.
Yeah, no, we said 45 days.
But even if, like, I mean, it'll still, some theaters will still play it, right? So just because it goes on 45 days, it'll still be in theaters in some places. Because when Spider-Man No Way Home came out, it was still in theaters.
Now, if y'all two think I'm going to wait around forever to reach $1 billion so y'all can win the tick mark, that ain't happening.
No, 45 days.
Tom Cruise is going to...
45.
Only when it comes out of theaters. Once it comes out of theaters, then it's making $1 billion. Won't work. But
you know where I'm going to cap it at? I think it's going to get to $905 million. That's where I'll cap it.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Most people are projecting it between 950 and 1.005 million or billion. I mean,
I used to think it was going to make $1 billion. You know, like when I first saw it, like when I saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh, this is absolutely going to make $1 billion." Not only is it an MCU movie, but the multiverse. And then I saw it, and then they didn't really deliver on the multiverse shit at all. Like really, just barely. But then I was just like, "Oh, this movie is going to slow down and have a problem," and it definitely slowed down.
What did Batman make, Anzo, you said?
June 11th is when it goes to Disney Plus.
Batman made about 750 million, something like that.
Right.
I'm not surprised. Most MCU movies destroyed DCU movies, so I'm not even surprised in that.
Well, that's not even a DCU movie. And then it's like, okay, like my thing is like when it passed the Batman, I'm like, first of all, you're talking about, you know, a new Batman, and Batman's by himself. You're talking about an MCU film where they're claiming that every single character in the world is going to be in the movie. But just the hype alone, I was like, it'll be embarrassing if it doesn't beat the Batman. And it did.
And then the Batman has so much negative publicity and pushbacks. They were saying Robert Pattinson was sick and he wasn't working out. He wasn't doing this. It has so much.
He doesn't like Batman, and
so that hurt it. I don't know how much it hurt it, but I was pleasantly surprised. Just like I was with Ben Affleck. I was like, when I first heard Ben Affleck, I was like, I don't know if he can pull that off. But he had the look, he had the fighting style, he had the build, everything. Robert Pattinson, I have to look at it with a different lens. He is not good as Ben Affleck. He's not in my top 5 Batman. No, he's not in my top. All right. He made my top 3 Batman. But
I still want to see like martial arts Batman from the comics. They haven't done that yet.
We're talking about Doctor Strange, though, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but the box office, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But here's the thing: June 11th is when it goes to Disney Plus. So on June 10th, we check it, and whatever it's at, we'll count it as that. Even if it's still going on in the theater, by that time, we don't know how they project and how they put into the numbers. But I guess that's what we should do is say June 11th.
Tom Cruise is going to take away from Doctor Strange like crazy. I'm telling you right now, that Top Gun movie is going to solidify that it's not going to hit $1 billion. You wait and see.
If Tom Cruise was pushed back to after June 11th, I would be a little bit scared. But I
don't know because
I agree with. I
think so in a way, but it all depends because it comes out and people are like, "Yeah, I don't like it." Then the next week it has to fight for that money. I don't know.
Well, I've talked to 7 humans that have seen it, right? And they're like, this shit is better than the first one. I'm like, oh shit, like I haven't seen it, right? And then the critics, like, they're just like, yo, this shit is great. This shit is great. Like, and I'm like, that's all I keep hearing. And then the
One thing,
anticipation for it is really high too. So
one thing about Tom Cruise, he's gonna try to outdo himself in crazy stunts and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
He just got that damn ego and shit. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
he's gonna do it. I just feel like he's gonna do it. So
you got 2 more weekends. You got 2 more weekends for Doctor Strange, basically.
Top Gun coming out on Memorial Day weekend too.
Exactly. I'm like, because I like Top Gun, but it's not like one of my favorite movies, right? So I'm kind of one of the casual, like, I'll see it when I see it kind of individuals. But I do like Tom Cruise because I like the Mission Impossible stuff. And I'll tell you what, if Doctor Strange don't hit $1 billion, based off of how much the Mission Impossible films normally make around 600-700 million, and then there's rumors about like this being like his last one, like the part 1 and part 2, I think it might beat Doctor Strange. It might be one of those things. Like, Tom Cruise has it in him. Like, you know, they all here using green screen and shit, and Tom Cruise is really doing his stunts and snapping his fucking legs and shit. Like, Tom Cruise is a beast. He's one of the few movie stars that are left. So I'm just saying.
I agree, but I just say, like, will Top Gun, have the legs? That's the problem.
That's a great point. Yeah.
I mean,
that's a great point, Anzo. I don't think Top Gun will come anywhere near Doctor Strange overall box office, but I think it will dethrone it from that number 1 spot. That's what I'm saying.
But wait, here's the problem with that theory. It's not going to appeal to the same people.
Of course,
it is a different genre.
Absolutely.
And listen, there's Tom Cruise people that aren't Marvel people, although there's the people who want Tom Cruise in Marvel, and then that'll change all of it. I think, I mean, I still think it's going to be really close, but I think he can do it.
And also another thing, you know, Chris, what else humans aren't thinking about is that if Doctor Strange, this big multiverse movie, right, that's supposed to be No Way Home, because we all know that Sony had a lot to do with No Way Home. Like, let's not play games here, right? But Doctor Strange, though, is all Kevin Feige, right? But it ain't performing as well as No Way Home. Like, wouldn't it be interesting if we can have conversations about how Doctor Strange didn't make as much money as Aquaman? Wouldn't that be interesting?
I don't know about that.
What do you mean? Because the Aquaman made more than $1 billion. If Doctor Strange doesn't get $1 billion,
there were women that went to that. They walked out of the theater.
It doesn't.
Momoa had his shirt off. That's all they know.
But here's the thing, though. It doesn't matter why it got to the $1 billion. It's because it's DC. It's not supposed to do that, and the MCU movies are supposed to do that, right? So let's not play games here. If Doctor Strange and his multiverse don't make more than Aquaman, that will be interesting to me.
Yeah, but people don't swoon over Cumberbatch like they do Jason Momoa. I'm sorry, I talked about this past week. There are women who literally cannot mention one thing about fucking Aquaman that went to go see Aquaman.
Again, though,
but they know that Momoa had his shirt off.
Again, though,
it's the difference.
But the thing is that it doesn't matter how it got to the $1 billion. It just did, because the fact that you can even pull in women anyway, the fact that you can pull in women anyway is a tall order. Like the fact that when I was with my guy friends and the girls were like, "Yo, we want to see Aquaman." Usually, we have to pull their necks to be like, "Yo, we gonna watch this comic book." But they're like, that's kind of nerd stuff. But that's my point, though. If you can do that, that's impressive. And then also the fact that you have MCU, where it's almost at this point guaranteed to slaughter everything unless you're like Jurassic Park, Fast and the Furious, or Joker or something like that, then you should be cleaning up everybody. The guy in the water, the fish guy, should not be able to beat your multiverse movie. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know about that. Because again, women went to go see that, not for the movie, just to see him with his shirt off for 2 hours. That's all they give a shit about.
That's what I'm saying.
Line
though,
these
like,
up to each other.
No, but what I'm saying is that would be interesting to me, right? Because I'll tell you this, right? I enjoyed Multiverse of Madness more than Aquaman. I'm just talking about the money. It will be interesting to me if it doesn't beat Aquaman at the box office. That's all I'm saying. That'd be interesting.
I don't know about that to me, but okay.
Yeah, it's
Mike,
very interesting.
What's up, Mike?
What's up, guys?
Oh, hey, what's up,
Mike?
Mike? Yep, Mike. Yep.
Hey,
What's up, Terrence? What's up, Alan?
I'll let you run
All
back through because we were kind of
What's up, Chris?
closing up.
Really quick, I gotta get going.
right.
I gotta finish my laundry and stuff, and you got some other stuff I gotta run and go do actually. So
All right,
I'm gonna drop out, guys. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yep.
Yeah,
See you, Chris.
Later.
Take it easy.
Later, Chris.
Mike, we'll give you opportunity to answer these questions. First one we talked about was Agatha. Do you want to see this? Disney is currently let me change it. It's rumored that Disney is in possible talks about doing an Agatha Harkness. What's the name of the show? House of Harkness.
I thought they had already announced that, didn't they? Wasn't it something?
I just read an article today on the Direct. First time I remember hearing it. The question I have toward everybody on the panel was: is this something you really want to see? Is it something that's necessary, or what are your thoughts?
I don't mind. I mean, it's a TV show. You're not. I mean, Marvel does do the things where now they're saying that things are not necessarily required viewing, but like, you understand more of the story if you watch it. Like, for instance, with Doctor Strange, I think watching WandaVision would probably be a good step before you go see Doctor Strange in the movies.
A lot of people say that's not necessary. I was like,
really?
I think it is necessary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it gives you the backstory on why she was motivated to read the dark hole and do all that crazy stuff. So I agree with you on that.
Yep. But I mean, it's like, why not? I mean, they have a network or a streaming service, let them use it, as long as this is the thing, like even with network television, like I know people you get the tribalism thing, you get like, my show and stuff like that. And you hate other shows because it's not your show and stuff. But like, y'all can have your shows. Like when Fringe was on Fox, I would watch that show and everybody was like, oh, American Idol is better, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, first of all, they're two different shows. Second of all, I don't care. You watch American Idol, I'll be watching Fringe. However, when American Idol starts pushing Fringe out of its time slot, or, they might cut the episode order because they can't afford it because they're putting all the money into American Idol, that's when it becomes a problem. So if they start taking stuff away from something else to make these shows, then I could understand people being outraged and angry and stuff like that, but let them do it. Like, I mean, they need content to put on the network, so screw it. Yeah, I mean, I'll watch it.
They're saying that they're going to possibly start pre-production this year and have it slated for Halloween of next year. So I think,
well, wouldn't it be like a good thing for like all the magic and the Marvel universe? They can introduce like, even Mephisto, get him in there. I mean, he was supposed to be in WandaVision, right? According to everybody.
I said that too, Mike. I was like, man, wouldn't that be something if they just choose now to bring in Mephisto? And like, where is Vision? Did they forget about him? Like any Vision ever?
Yeah, he should have been in the Multiverse.
Madness. Exactly.
I'm really shocked we didn't see him.
Sloppy storytelling.
Yeah. But okay, second topic we were talking about. The MCU has 6 actors that made the top 100 most influential lists of that Time does every year. One was Zendaya, one was Zoe Kravitz, one was Andrew Garfield, one was Simu Liu, I think, that played
Shang-Chi.
Oh, okay.
The other was other two. I can't think of it. Who's the other two?
Wasn't it Taika Waititi?
Yeah, Taika Waititi. I can't think of the 6th person. Who was the 6th person?
And what was this based on?
This was the Times top 100 most influential people of 2022.
Oh, okay. Well, I can see Zendaya because she's on that other show too. That's on HBO.
Yeah, Euphoria. I haven't seen it, Mike, but I hear great things. But
I've heard crazy things about. Yeah.
There's another actress that starred in Shang-Chi, a female. I can't think of her name.
Oh, not
Michelle
Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh.
Oh, Michelle Yeoh. Okay, that's probably because of the movie. That crazy movie. Everything, Everywhere, or something like that, or something.
Yeah, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Have you seen that?
Like,
yeah,
I have not. That's still on my to-do list.
Yeah,
I gotta watch
that too. I want to see that too.
But do you agree about? I think Anzo said Zendaya. I think was his favorite.
Oh yeah.
Terrence said the same thing. Did Chris say the same thing? Also on Terrence, I can't remember.
But yeah, I think he did.
I think he did.
I said I like Zoe, Zendaya, and Andrew all equally the same. I don't like one better than the other, but the other three I'm really not familiar. Taika Waititi, they made a comment about his movies are kind of like Picasso. They're very distinctive, and you can tell. You can tell his style of movie and that kind of stuff, which I agree. We also was fortunate enough to watch the second trailer of Thor: Love and Thunder. Do you watch that?
Oh no, I haven't seen that yet. It's been really crazy over here.
I am a
came on
big
doing
fan
the
of
basketball game, so you might want to check it out. It's in the private chat.
Oh, okay.
Mike, Mike, it was very entertaining, but what they did with Gore and what they're doing with Valkyrie and Mighty Thor,
no.
I don't know, man. There's some red flags, but what I can say objectively is I am very certain that I will have fun watching it, but in terms of substance and accuracy, and we just got to throw that all out the window.
Yeah. Well, you think they're going to give Jane cancer?
You don't look like it. She looks.
I don't
quite
think
healthy.
so. and you know what too? Like, if they do, right, I don't picture it being done in a way that's not silly, right? I think it'll be something brief, but what I do picture, Mike, is that they're gonna have King Valkyrie, which that hurts me just saying it like that. King Valkyrie and Mighty Thor, they're gonna beat Gore. Like, the real Thor is gonna come in there and get laid out, and there's gonna be Mighty Thor. She's gonna put her hammer up in the sky, and that's gonna give her like more power than the Infinity Stones, and then she's gonna kill Gore. That's what I picture happening.
Well, see, not for nothing, and I don't know if they're going to go this way, but in the comic books now, Odin is inside Mjolnir.
Yep.
So if they go that way, because I mean, Odin, that was the same area where Odin died, and he drifted away or whatever, where Mjolnir got destroyed.
So you believe his spirit is in the remnants of the hammer when they put it back together?
And that could give her, if that gives her the power up and all that,
Now see, my thing is like, okay, so in the trailer, Mike, right? We have Thor saying, "I need to figure out who I am." He hasn't did it in all these phases of the movies, right? Even though we saw him figure out who he is. So we have him get in shape. We see him abandon the fight that he's with the Guardians. So I'm like, okay, he's not fighting anymore. What's going on? I'm just like, so you're gonna have a movie where he's coming into his own. He's gonna be more powerful. It just would seem silly and a waste to me to not have him beat Gore. I'm like, what happened to the other Thors from the different timelines? Like, how come they're not doing that?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. If they did like the Thors from the Secret Wars miniseries, yeah. Dude,
past, present, future. Oh shit. Yeah. You know what, Mike? This will make me forgive everything, all the red flags. If they can get Beta Ray Bill in there, and it's Beta Ray Bill, Thor, and Mighty Thor, and all three of them jump and beat Gore. That's what I'm talking about. Because that's technically still kind of three Thors. I'm like, okay, there's some creativity there. I can deal with that. But what I don't want to see is my boy Thor. He just kind of take a back seat in his own movie after all that buildup of him getting.
So
better.
They didn't show Beta Ray Bill or anything like that. They didn't have like any new Easter. Okay.
They showed Zeus. Zeus is there. Yeah,
that was Russell Crowe, wasn't it? Did Russell Crowe play him?
Yep. Gladiator. Yep.
I'll check it out when I get off here.
They showed Gore. He looked all gray, looking like
he looks.
Yeah. Did he look better than the action figure?
Not really, Mike. Like, okay. Let's put it like this. I believe that Christian Bale will most likely have the best performance in the movie. But when Chris Hemsworth and Taika Waititi was like, "Oh, this is going to be like the best villain," I'm like, okay. I was saying earlier, you don't have that many good ones, and I don't believe that Gore is going to be like Thanos, Eric Killmonger, Loki, or Hela. Like, you're not gonna. I don't see that happening based upon the silliness of the movie, unless there's like this huge, dark, serious section that they're withholding. I just don't think it'll have the substance to venture into that area.
Did you did they show Sif?
No, they did not. Man, where is Sid? I feel like she got blacklisted ever since she went on Agents of Shield.
Hey, I know, right? Well, hey, as long as she was there and she wasn't part of that massacre in Ragnarok, I'm glad she wasn't there, man, because Taika probably would have killed her
They
then.
they showed a great deal of Jane in the Thor, and then him and her walking together, and they're different.
How'd she look though? She look good?
She's buffed up.
Okay.
They buffed her up. I didn't think that was a problem for me. How they gonna put muscle on that frame? But they did.
And remember what I was saying, Danny. I was like, I know that's possible because I did it myself.
That gives me hope. That gives me hope that they can do the same thing with Lolita, or however she wants her name, White with Black Panther. She got to definitely.
Oh yeah.
So if they can do her, then they can do her. So fingers crossed. And speaking of that, the next topic was who would be the next Black Panther. They were saying here, I already clicked off, but they had like a picture of what they believe possible. How Namor would look. And it was
Namor, yeah. I saw that. They're gonna have him like be Mexican or Mayan or whatever.
They're changing the whole backstory, Mike. It's fuck.
I know.
And they didn't even hide it this time, Mike. You know, like how they kind of hide it, and then maybe we watch it like, oh, okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. But it was like straight away, they're like, we changed it to match the actor.
And see, that's the other thing too. I know, like when people were watching Ms. Marvel, like yes, you're going to get people that are actual fans, the few that are out there, but there were others that were acting as if they were insulted. Oh, look they didn't do her powers the way it is in the comics. And I'm like, what they did with Namor makes me think that it is true that they don't want anybody with like stretchy powers to show up until Reed, because they're afraid that the casuals that watch just the movies are going to be thinking that Reed is a copy of Kamala.
Right.
So that's why they're like, you know what, we got to have Reed first. And then if we wanted to do Kamala, and also they didn't have the Inhumans, so you can't have that aspect of her.
That is true.
Origin.
That is true, Mike. That is exactly what I was saying. I was like, you took away the one aspect that I found interesting with the Terrigen Mist, and then that's how she became an Inhuman. Because Mike, I know you saw Multiverse of Madness, the way they did Black Bolt and Reed Richards and Professor X, that hurt my heart.
Yeah, but see, if you're talking, this is the thing. I understand that there are some people like that part of the YouTubes out there that were upset that they took out Reed Richards and Black Bolt, and Captain Marvel and Captain Carter lasted longer or whatever. And I'm like, but look at it this way. She took out the two most powerful people first. Okay. They weren't looking at it that way. They're like, oh, the women have to last longer and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, first of all, you guys are trash. You always coming up with this like female narrative thing or whatever. It wasn't the case. She took out the two most powerful and most intelligent members of the Illuminati first.
That is very true, Mike. But I was just like, once they say you're the smartest man in the universe and he did the dumbest thing, Mark, you and I are smarter than Reed Richards based upon what I saw. It makes no sense. I'm like, why would he go into a place without a plan? I
agreed. And I wonder if it was like the arrogance, like sometimes when you're smart or when you got a lot of money, that, hey, I can get whatever I want, stuff like that. And you go in with that impression. And then sometimes you're wrong. I mean, I think
they did that just for, okay, here's fans. We show them, here he is. Okay. Let's move him out of the way and go on and continue with the story. That's right.
They just did that to show off Wanda's powers. Those characters didn't act anything like they were supposed to, because you have those humans that say, okay, but this is a different universe. I'm like, when I saw the other Doctor Strangers, they were just as powerful. One had the Darkhold and fucked up his own universe, and the other one was deemed the worst threat, and they had a Wanda. That Doctor Strange was the worst threat, but somehow it's convenient that these characters are not like the ones in the main ones, right?
Yeah. And to also give stakes and, show that she's not messing around and she murdered all of them, so.
Right. Yeah. She had a bunch of punching bags, Mike. I was like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what they were there for. They were like the camp counselors in Friday the 13th. That's what they were there for.
Pretty much. Like, oh no, Wanda. And then Captain Marvel, just the statue. I was like, I didn't watch her fly through Thanos' ships, but a statue just killed her. I was like, okay, I see what's going on.
Well, they did that thing though, where like her power kind of like how Tony Stark when he was fighting Thanos, how like the nanobots or whatever, like the suit kept going away because he was like trying to channel more the nanobots into his repulsor rays and stuff like that. So I got that impression from what they did with her, because when you watch it, you saw that her like that glow that's around her, or whatever, it was kind of disappearing and stuff.
Right, just like her armor, and then I thought about that too, Mike. But I was just like, this is happening way too easily. You know what I mean? Like, it was weird. I'm like, it wouldn't happen like that, but it was fun to watch. I just was like, this is bullshit. Remember when she beat Charles in the astral plane? When Charles beat the Shadow King, I was like, you better miss me with this.
Yeah, no, I agree.
The last one we talked about was will it make $1 billion? Will Multiverse Madness make $1 billion?
What's it at now?
800 million.
800? I think it'll get close. I don't think it'll make $1 billion.
June 11th is when it goes out. I think.
Oh, really?
Go into Disney Plus. I think Chris just told us that before you left.
Oh, really?
So we got a little contest going, me, Chris, and Anzo. And that's one of the questions we're going to determine. The last thing I want to talk about, and I really haven't been excited about this IP for a long time, but I saw this preview and I'm really interested. What do y'all think about this new upcoming Jurassic Park? Anzo, have you seen the trailers
for the new Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
I've seen a bit. Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, it looks all right. I'll see it. I wasn't a big fan of the last one, so I'm not in any rush to see it, but I'll watch it.
Mike, what do you think?
I hated the one before it, and I hated the one before that. And not that two, the initial out of the first trilogy, not the last two were that great either, but they got me. I bought the tickets because I saw Sam Neill and Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum. So they got me. That's how they did it. Yeah. I saw them. I'm like, you know what? Hopefully this will be the last one. Won't see any more of these. And they
the story
brought
now is
back.
What's the name of it? I don't even know what the name of it is.
Dominion, I think, or something like that. Jurassic World Dominion.
But isn't it now that the dinosaurs are about taking over the Earth?
They're roaming free, because it's like honestly, I haven't been like a big Jurassic Park guy, but I've seen them all, right? But I do think that the first one is the best one that I've seen out of all of them. Including the new one. But it's like I liked the first Jurassic World. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, all right, something a little different, and I could see it getting better with the sequels. And I saw the sequel, and I was like, oh, I was 100% wrong about that.
I think they made a mistake when they try to make the dinosaur even more menacing. Nothing should be more menacing than the T-Rex. That should be the top of the mountain, the top of the food
alpha.
Chain. Yep. But then they got this damn. I can't even think of the name of them. These different raptors, Insomniaraptor or something. Bullshit.
Oh, they keep making up.
I just remember what was it?
Indominus Rex, I think was one.
Mm-hmm.
And but one could damn change colors and camouflage and all this kind of shit.
You remember how long it took the scientists to say genetically engineered modified hybrid dinosaur? I'm like, the fact that it took you that long to say it means that you shouldn't have made it. I'm like, no, there wouldn't have been no trilogy if I was the main character. He'd have been killed right then and there. Like, no.
That way people go wrong. The dinosaur is already deadly. But you're going to get this sucker even more shit to make it. That makes no sense.
That just shows that they don't have a lot of faith in their story, because if they had a good story, you wouldn't worry about having to come up with these new dinosaurs. You just use the same ones and come up with them in unique ways.
They lost me when that sucker could turn invisible.
You know what, Mike? Like, I'm on board with them playing around, because it's like I wouldn't expect it. Like, say you see a T-Rex coming, and then you just like, okay, let me move out of the way, and it teleports behind you and stuff. I'm like, okay, now y'all cheating. I was gonna fight, but I'm just gonna stand here. I'm just gonna stand here. There's nothing I can do. Like,
I tell you exactly what I would do. If that happened, this would be me right here. Where is it at?
Okay, who's next?
that is perfect because
that's what you can do. When the dinosaurs start teleporting, you know you're in trouble.
yeah,
the one thing I am wondering though, there's a black chick in there. I'm wondering if that's Jeff Goldblum's daughter from the second one.
I don't know.
Because
chances are she might
in
die.
Lost World.
Okay.
Not, but I'm wondering because
You-
I haven't looked at the cast list or anything like that to see who she's playing. But
you know what, Mike? I think because I was saying earlier that Jurassic Park is one of the few franchises where you can beat MCU films financially, right? You know, like James Bond, Fast and Furious. Like, there's a few where it's like, oh shit, this is a problem. So I think that with this one, because they seem to be marketing as like, okay, this is the last one of the Chris Pratt trilogy, and then they're bringing in the OG characters. So I think with the nostalgia and stuff, and already just the last two making a shit ton of money. I think the last two made more than $1 billion, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so it's like,
yeah.
This one I think could get to like the 1.5 area, and it's just there's so much hype and nostalgia, and the movie looks very entertaining. I'm like, I don't know what the story is going to be exactly, and I don't even think it really matters to the degree that you're going to have 2 hours of humans running from dinosaurs, getting eaten by dinosaurs. One's teleporting, one's changing colors, one has feathers, and just all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm like, wow, it should be a blast to watch.
Yep.
All right, gents. We have been on for 1 hour and 41 minutes. Good show, good topics. Glad you could join us, Mike. We're going to go around real quick. Everyone shout out their channel, and then we're going to go ahead and call it a night. And we'll start with you, Mike, from Road Comics. What's going on with you, sir?
Well, I've been for the most part, I've been streaming gaming. I've been playing Fortnite with the Batman Who Laughs and getting into that because that's helping my watch hours, which I'm trying to get up to. What is it, 4,000, 3,000, whatever?
4,000 watch hours.
Yeah. And also, murking little 9-year-olds too. That's kind of fun. But yeah, and occasionally I do videos for like comic book releases and what comes out. I haven't gotten the drive to do like reaction videos because it's just like whatever. But I don't know, maybe one of these days. But yeah, that's what I'm doing over there. It's Row Comics. The name, what you see on there, just go to Row Comics Online. All the information's there.
Good deal.
And thanks for inviting me, Danny. I do appreciate it.
Not a problem. T-Virus, what's going on in your neck of the woods, sir?
Hey, what's going on, humans? Terrence here. You can find me on T-Virus Terrence. I don't have anything planned per se, but I have been kind of going about it randomly and just kind of talking about and posting whatever I want within reason, because sometimes YouTube they don't allow the Terrence material, but most of it I can get through. But I just wanted to say that this is fun for me. Danny, you have the brother, you have the other brother Anzo, you have Mike, yep, you cool, yep. I'm pretty sure we'll build up more as we have more conversations and stuff, because I do appreciate your involvement in these discussions. And I just want to say that I rarely get sad, but it's sad to me how Danny always wants to end it so quickly, and I enjoy his company.
I appreciate that, bro, but I got something called a job that taps on my shoulder every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. So I gotta get properly ready for that.
But it's just the thing is, Danny, with the humans wilding out and possibly World War III and World War IV and everything else in between.
Don't forget the monkeypox.
Yeah, that's. I feel like that's a silent one, right? Hasn't made the boom yet, but I feel like maybe by next week, that'll be the one that'll get to us before World War III. But that just brings me to the point of like, we have to appreciate these conversations because it could be our last. And like, if I'm looking at a nuke and it's about to hit me, my last memory is going to be, man, Danny did not have that long conversation with me. It's just going to be a sad moment for me.
Okay. I hear you, bro. I appreciate the sentiment. Anzo, what's going over there up north, sir?
Bigger Ford Entertainment. You guys know tomorrow night will be the Chaos List. Not sure what the topics will be. Then OOC on Wednesday, along with the Rule of Three. Other than that, man, good show.
Thank you.
Anzo, are we still gonna do that 30-hour stream or
what? Yeah. and then when you wake up, you'll see it was all a dream.
See, that's exactly why humans say the best thing happens in dreams, because in reality, it's just nothing but sadness.
I am the host, Danny Graham, aka Comment Chat. You can find me here on Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday and Wednesday. If we do anything Friday, I won't be. I'll be out of town doing some security. A little place called Myrtle Beach. So that's where I will be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So I won't be in town. But as always, I enjoy streaming with y'all fellas, man. Good group of people. I learn a lot, especially from the two comic book enthusiasts down there at the bottom. And tomorrow night, I'm pretty sure we come on Alzo's show. He's going to have a lot of good topics like he always does. It's been a long time since he had, what's the thing you used to do all the time, Alzo, at the beginning of the show?
Which one?
The things you used to always, the questions you always ask.
The honorable mentions?
Yeah, the honorable mentions. So let's don't have no honorable mentions about me. Let's have honorable
I had for last week. I just had a headache. I couldn't do the show. But I got them.
If you want another headache for tomorrow, that would be just fine. So
I got them. Don't worry.
That's fine. Just fine. But until then, people, take it easy. We appreciate it. And we will catch you next week. Peace.
Yep.
Peace.
Inevitable.
Okay, Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Khaotic Conversation. And here we go. The beat's banging, so the verse gotta bang too. You ain't feeling it, man. I don't know what to say to you. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep flowing. And my channel, yeah, it's gonna keep growing. Comment Chat is who I am. You be like, yo, that's Danny? Damn, he kinda nice. This shit is hot. It's Monday night. It's 9 o'clock. The show Khaotic Conversation is the best damn show on YouTube Nation. So sit back, enjoy the show, and like the Joker says, and here we go. Khaotic Conversation. Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't you dare miss it. That's what I said. Don't you dare miss it. Peace.